What up, fam? We are back for Mindset Monday, and this week we're going to talk about the power of your words. Okay, now this actually kept coming up a lot for me this week. Not from me personally, but from people I'm in business with. And a few of them kept talking about that it sounded silly or they thought it was ridiculous that we would say affirmations, that we would speak positivity over our business, over our goals, over our future. And it really hit home with me because I know how important it is for you to speak positivity and positive things in order to achieve that. So I want to talk to you guys today about the power of your words. Okay. And first I'm going to share a story that I actually heard whenever I attended a training by Dean Graziosi. Now, Dean Graziosi is a motivational speaker. Okay. But he shared about how he went to, I believe it was Colorado, and they went whitewater rafting. And he got to talking with the raft guide that was guiding them in the boat down the river. And when they got to this one part, the guide shared a story with him. And he said, right here, there's a big rock over to the right and a like a stump, right? A tree. And then over to the left was the opening that they needed to go through. Now, he told Dean he used to tell his people in the raft, see that rock and that stump? We don't want to go there. We want to go to the left. And he said when he would do that, it never failed that they would always gravitate towards the rock and stump. They would hit it and they would dump out. And he said it drove him crazy, right? And so he started looking up and researching, why is this happening? And so he found out that when he said that, their focus became on that stump, on that rock, and they gravitated towards it. So he changed his wording. When they came up to that part of the river, he started saying, let's go through that opening to the left. He didn't even mention the rock and stump. And he said after he changed his verbiage, they never hit the rock and stump again. They always went through the opening to the left. Now, the reason that that's important is because when we say something, even if it's don't do this, right? In our minds, it just focuses on that thing. And then our mind causes our body and our actions to move in that direction. It's the same thing with kids, actually. When you tell them don't do something, what do? They go and do it, right? So it's the same thing. If we're focusing on what we're not supposed to do, we are actually gravitating and moving in that direction. So we've got to change the way that we speak. We want to say, let's focus on this. Let's move in this direction instead of, I don't want to move in this direction. Okay. The other thing is when you speak positivity, right? When you focus on the positive of any situation, any day-to-day life, what happens is your brain notices more positive things. So when you focus on positive, you notice more positive. When you focus on negative, you notice more negative. And I can actually attest to this. Before getting into business for myself, I was a therapist. I have my master's degree in counseling. I know a lot about how the brain works, right? I'm not an expert necessarily, but I do know quite a bit from that training. And it's the same as, let's say you bought a brand new yellow Beamer, right? Doesn't matter what kind of car it is. When you start driving that, you're all of a sudden going to notice other yellow Beamers on the road, right? Because now it's been brought to the forefront of your mind. You have a yellow Beamer, so your mind notices the other yellow Beamers that are out on the road that they could have been there forever, right? But you never noticed them until you brought it to the forefront of your mind. Same thing with positive versus negative thinking. If you focus on the positive, we are going to notice more positive throughout the day. When we focus on the negative, all of a sudden the entire day is now a bad day when maybe it was only 10 seconds here, 5 seconds here, 10 seconds here, right? Maybe a couple of things happened that weren't great, but because you focused on them, it ruined the whole day. right? So what we want to do is we want to change the way that we talk. We want to put positivity out into the universe. And that way our mind focuses on how do I make that a reality, right? If you want to make $1 million, start speaking positivity over making that $1 million. I am a millionaire, right? And start talking like that. Start exposing yourself to other millionaires. Start, thinking of ways to brand yourself, to build a business, whatever it is that is going to get you to that millionaire status. When you talk positive, your brain focuses on opportunity of how do I make that happen? When we focus on the negative and the things that we can't do, I'm going to use quotations because we can do pretty much anything. But when we focus on the things that we can't do, all of a sudden our brain shuts down and it does not look for opportunity, right? It just says, I can't, and it's done. It doesn't even search for another road or another path to get there. So this week, I want you guys to work on speaking positivity over your future, over your business, over your goals, over anything that you are trying to do, right? I want you to start speaking positivity over that, and let's see what this next week looks like.